All right, this week you're going to be studying the 5 geographic regions of Washington State where we live. We live in the Columbia Plateau region, number 4 on this map here. We're going to, over the next couple days, gather information about each region and be able to use it in a research project where you get to pick your favorite region and tell me more about it. So today we're going to be listening. I'm going to have the computer read through each region. And today your assignment on a piece of paper, it's for you to keep. It's not something you have to turn in, but you'll use it later in the week. You're going to write 2 facts that you found interesting from each region. If you have the packet, I did copy the page that you're seeing about the regions, and so you have it there in your packet to read and collect information on. All right, let's go ahead and hear about the 5 regions of Washington.
Washington divides itself into 5 natural regions. Which do you live in? Where in the world is Washington? Washington is just a dot on the world. Can you see it? It doesn't look big, but it is very important. If you will study this article, you'll see how Washington fits into the world. Natural regions of Washington. A natural region is a part of the Earth that has one major kind of natural feature, such as mountains or plains, that make that area unique. 1. Coastal region. Washington's coastal plain, where our state meets the ocean, is narrow in the north, but widens to 30 miles at Gray's Harbor. It is a combination of great forests with trees hundreds of years old, the Olympic Mountains to the north, the Willapa Hills in the south, and the valley of the Chehalis River. The Olympic Mountains are a rugged, eroded group of peaks that rise almost directly from sea level. They trap moisture-laden clouds from the ocean that dump 150 to 200 inches of rain per year on the thick forests. That's like pouring out 2 billion gallons of water on every acre.
Woo!
Heavy rainfall is common, as are mild winters and cool summers. Willapa Hills, just south of the Olympics, are low, rounded hills, averaging 500 feet high, with dense forests. Along the coast are 3 excellent harbors: Gray's Harbor, Willapa Harbor, and the mouth of the Columbia River. 2. Western Lowlands. This beautiful area varies in width between 25 and 60 miles and runs the whole length of Washington. It is guarded on the east by the Cascades and on the west by the Olympic Mountains and the Willapa Hills. The land is aptly called lowlands, as it averages only 100 feet above sea level, yet receives its share of rainfall at 20 to 40 inches a year. Rarely do temperatures rise above 90 or fall below freezing in this mild area. Thousands of years ago, ancient glaciers, pushing down from Canada, carved out the Puget Sound. Today, the Sound is an arm of the ocean and deep enough to hold the largest ocean-going ships in its harbors. At least 172 of its more than 300 islands are large enough for people to live on. Whidbey Island is the second largest island in the continental United States. 3. Cascade Mountains. The Great Range of Cascades divides the state from north to south into thirds: 1/3 of the state on the ocean side, and 2/3 to the east. The Cascade Mountains are higher than the Olympics, averaging about 8,000 feet. Some of the highest mountain peaks in the United States are among the Cascades. And these are all volcanic cones. Mount Rainier, 14,408 feet. Mount Adams, 12,307 feet. Mount Baker, 10,827. Glacier Peak, 10,436 feet. And the remaining snow-capped slopes of Mount St. Helens.
So remember, in the Cascade Mountain Range that travels north and south, kind of dividing our state east and west, is full of active volcanoes. Okay, and that's what they're talking about here. Remember when it said the remaining snow-capped slopes of Mount St. Helens? That's because back in 1980, when Mount St. Helens erupted last, it kind of blew off the top and side of the mountain. And so there's not the peak left, but there are the Mount St. Helens is still there, and it's actually starting to grow back in the middle. So they're talking about what's left of it. So it's not as, it doesn't have as high an elevation as the other volcanoes in the Cascade Mountain region.
The Cascade Range varies from 50 to 100 miles in width, with many rivers flowing down either side. The heaviest rain is on the west side, but enough rain makes it past the mountains to support forests on the east side.
So number 4, Columbia Plateau, this is where we live. So the Yakima Valley, which includes Union Gap and Lower Valley, Toppenish, Wapato, Sunnyside, places like that, is in the Columbia Plateau. So I bet you're going to recognize some of the facts that this section gives you about where we live.
4. Columbia Plateau. East of the Cascade Mountains, our state becomes a different country. Instead of lush, thick forests, there are vast stretches of lava flow that push out as far as the eye can see. This great central basin lies from 500 to 2,000 feet above sea level and is surrounded by a rim of higher lands. There is fertile soil on these lava flows, but too little rain to grow very much. In some places, it is almost like a desert, receiving as little as 6 inches of rain a year. Temperatures drop well below zero and rise above 100 degrees. Unusual landforms include the Grand Coulee and Moses Coulee. A coulee is a steep-walled, canyon-like trench that was created during the Ice Age when glaciers blocked the Columbia River, forcing it to take new paths. Sand formations called potholes, the dry falls of the Grand Coulee, numerous deep canyons and petrified forests. The mighty Columbia River cuts through this area for 745 miles, falling 1,288 feet on its way to the ocean. This terrific drop makes it perfect for hydroelectric power plants. A plateau is flat land that has been pushed up from below. 5. Northeastern Highlands. From the Cascades eastward, our state is largely a range of low, round hills, running up to the northern Rocky Mountains. This range is broken up by many north-south valleys, which are covered by pine with little undergrowth. The highlands range from 4,000 to 5,000 feet high, with a few peaks rising to 7,000 to 8,000 feet. Rainfall averages 20 to 30 inches, enough to keep sagebrush and bunchgrass growing. Where rivers flow into the valleys of the highlands, world-famous apples grow in abundance.
So, boys and girls, your job this week is to be gathering information about all 5 regions of our state. Today and tomorrow, what you're going to do is you're going to be gathering some interesting facts from each region in this Washington Studies Weekly newspaper. So what I'd like you to be working on, and in your assignment page on Teams or on a piece of paper that you have at home, You're going to go back to this resource and you're going to find 2 facts from each section, 1 through 5, and write those down. Keep it in a safe place because you're going to use it later in the week to do a research project.